Yo, what is going on, guys? And today we're gonna be doing somewhat of a different video. So today is gonna be our first video of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series review spoilers edition. Right after the episode just drops. It's 1 a.m. right now. We watched it around 12:10. Literally just watched it, and it might become a series. Where we review the new the new Disney Plus shows and whatever on the new Marvel Disney Plus shows and Mandalorian and Star Wars and all of that. We were gonna do it last week, but we didn't get to it, and then we thought of the idea in the later episodes of WandaVision, so it really wouldn't have made sense to pick it up then. But so yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier, season 1, episode 2. What are your general first reactions?
Oh, good episode. I'm really glad that they're kind of making these like mini Marvel movies. I really like how they're still, referencing stuff that's happened, the blip, Bucky and Wakanda. I love how they're still, still bring that stuff up because some people might forget or it's like irrelevant sometimes. But great episode. The interactions between Bucky and Sam were hilarious. I was laughing. Great action. God, I hate John Walker, dude. I can't not like that guy.
They picked an actor that looks bad, that looks like rude.
Yeah, they picked him well.
I definitely liked the first episode better. I definitely did. Like I even love the parts of the first episode that weren't action and high paced, like the interaction with Bucky and that girl he's on a date with, and with the older Asian guy, and with Falcon and his family trying to save the boat. Like I even thought those interactions were good as long as with the first action sequence. I'm tired. As long as with the first action sequence, which was so good. But yeah, the action in this was pretty good. Not as good as last episode, and second episodes usually aren't the best. They just keep the story moving a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, their Bucky's and Sam's interactions were super funny. The therapist scene was funny. And I like how it shows how Bucky is mad at Sam for giving the shield away. And you can kind of see why he's mad. I mean, we're all mad that this guy got the shield, but then you can also see what Sam is saying in the sense that, like, well, I did not feel like I was worthy of it. So you kind of get both sides of it, and Bucky definitely just wants to lay low and have a normal life, but when he sees this happening, he's like, okay, I'm back. Mm-hmm. What did you think of what do you think shoot, I forgot what I was gonna ask you. What do you make of these people with all of the like news serum and all of that? Like, where do you think that's coming from?
So Bucky said to the other guy who had the serum, he said, like us. So they must be some kind of Winter Soldiers, I'm thinking, or some kind of just super soldier, is what I think they've referenced it before. And the Flag Smashers are interesting. I thought there was going to be a bigger group, but it looks like it's like not even a dozen of them, and they lost a person at the end of the episode. And I thought it was going to be a lot more of them, but they're slowly gaining popularity around the world, is what they were saying with their symbol and stuff. So they have a group of supporters, but when it comes down to brass tacks and actually getting stuff done, they don't have a lot of manpower. So that's going to be really interesting how they do. But each of them has their own like 10 men inside of one of them. So it's going to be definitely interesting to see how they're going to play a role in this all together.
So something because spoilers, obviously, they show Zemo at the end. I thought Zemo would be like the leader of the Flag Smashers.
Right. I think
He's
that still
not.
could be a possibility, though.
The leader of the Flag Smash. I don't see that. I mean, they're going to him for help. Is it a possibility he might play? Because they haven't showed him in the trailers like hurting them, have they?
No, I think
We
what
assumed it
we're
was him under the
seeing,
mask.
right. I think he could be a leader of the Flag Smashers. I feel like the Flag Smashers could either break him out, need his help. He
But they're
has
not breaking him out.
information.
Like Bucky and Sam were going to talk to him.
Oh yeah. Oh, so
Like,
that's what they were gonna. Oh,
yeah.
right,
Like, do you
right,
think he
right,
might
right,
be
right.
a good guy?
No, definitely no. 'Cause he's still locked up.
My guess is he'll be kind of good at first. Like he'll kind of help them, but then as he kind of, because they'll probably let him out of jail, and then
Hmm.
he'll kind of get away type of thing, and then like retaliate. But like, it's interesting because these soldiers are basically the same thing as the people we saw in Civil War that were like in the cryo tanks.
Hmm. Yeah, and there's a scene that you can see in the trailer where Bucky's holding a gun right to Zemo, and then he drops all the bullets. So they could be working together. I think I definitely agree with you on that. They could work together, and then he finds some way to escape. And I feel like Zemo would go towards the Flag Smashers, being since they're already super soldiers and they have a decent chance again. They have a really good chance actually against Falcon and Bucky because the first battle that they showed, they totally beat the crap out of them. So I could see Zemo joining the Flag Smashers, being their leader. I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of beyond that. Like, so I thought the action was good. It wasn't as good as the first episode, like I said.
Hmm.
But like, what's with them making this Captain America like more powerful than Steve Rogers? Like that's what it kind of seemed like. Like when he threw the shield, it was like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and yeah, for sure. And then they showed that footage of him while he was getting his old thing from Good Morning America of him like practicing with the shield and stuff. Like that's not something that's easily mastered. And Sam literally gave up the shield. Like wasn't it like a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago? Like it hasn't been a lot of time,
What
and for
if?
him just to kind of, I don't know, but for him to kind of just pick up the shield super quick and just be able to throw it like that, and the way he was using it, I feel like
What if?
that battle sequence was totally not was unrealistic because of he just couldn't match up against some these super soldiers, and neither could Bucky. Had more of a chance, but Falcon, even with his gadgets, could store more of a chance. But I just don't get how he was able to master and use the shield that well against them so
Okay, but what
quickly.
about this? What if he has the super serum?
John Walker,
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible. The way he got hit, the way he felt backwards, the way he was hitting the Flag Smashers,
So
they weren't going 10 feet.
he's just like
He's an
strong.
average guy. Yeah, he's just
Well,
an
obviously
average guy
not
that knows
average.
how to hit. Yeah, I think he's just an average guy that knows how to hit
Hmm.
people in the right spots to make them like vulnerable.
Okay, what'd you make of the Isaiah guy and then the like police scene after?
Um, the police scene is kind of portraying what's going on nowadays, which is kind of interesting. I'm not gonna go into that. But that the whole this whole other super soldier and the world of different super soldiers. This is opening. This is huge MCU wise because that means this entire time while everything was going on, there was a so-called another Captain America or another super soldier that kind of was just left to rot, and he was in jail for 30 years. Like, what is that about? Like, were they
Do you
testing
think
him?
they'll
Was he
make it about
actually in
race and
jail for
say that like
something?
they didn't make him to the forefront because he's African American?
I could definitely see, especially how our culture was way back when, and you say Korean War, I think is what era, or Vietnam, whatever it was. Like, I could definitely see our government being like, no, he's African American. Let's not introduce him to the world. Like, I could definitely see our government 100% doing that. But why was he in prison for 30 years? Why was he doing? Did he do something that forced him to be in there for 30 years? Like, that brings up a couple questions.
Well, yeah, and so the police scene, it's whatever. You can have your different opinions on as far as like police brutality, whatever. But it wasn't necessarily that. Like it was because of racism. The cops stopped him over, which can be a real thing. Um, And but beyond that, because you had the other guy in the bank kind of not taking him seriously, then as soon as he finds out, oh, he's an Avenger, it's like, oh, I'm gonna treat you with like this celebrity status. So I kind of like how they're they're kind of exploring like what it means to like, you know, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like just
Hmm.
exploring that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exploring like life, like as a superhero when it's like normal. When like they did show those scenes of Sam has like family, and he has he's got like his sister, his niece and nephews, like all that kind of stuff. And it's really interesting to kind of see like he's trying to have a normal life, even though when you want to just apply for like a normal loan, there's still people like, oh my gosh, you're freaking Falcon, you're oh my god, you're an Avenger.
Did you like this better than the first episode or not?
No, no, first episode was really good. First episode was in terms of action, it felt like a mini Marvel movie. It felt like I was like watching the Winter Soldier, the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It felt like that. Like it was. I loved the first episode, especially that whole flashback sequence of Bucky being the Winter Soldier and him just murking everybody. Bro, favorite scene right there.
So what are you looking for in the third episode?
Third episode, I want them to absolutely kick the crap out of John Walker and take that shield. I know they're not probably going to do it like that. I know they're probably going to try and maybe steal it or he drops it or something like that. I don't know, but I would love for them to be like, screw you, the shield's ours. But they're going to get it eventually. Third episode, they're probably going to finally introduce because I think there's only 6 episodes of this series. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, four
Um,
more.
yeah, and next episode kind of being like halfway through already, they need to kind of move the plot a lot. So I think the plot is going to be going to go a lot farther. I believe that Zemo is going to start playing a bigger role. I think we'll see Sharon Carter, in my opinion, in next episode. Um, yeah, this show's doing amazing. It's doing great. It's not off to a slow start like WandaVision was,
I
and
mean, it
I'm
kind of
enjoying.
is though.
In terms of action though, and being like funny and like what a Marvel
Okay, but like
movie
as
is
far as like
worth.
plot,
Plot, yes. Plot, definitely for sure, is going slow. But in terms of action and in terms of how a Marvel movie is structured and structured and stuff, I feel like this is going very very well. I love this show. I can't wait for next week. I can't believe I have to do another week now.
yeah, yeah. They're definitely always like cooler watching them again because you know like during the actual day hours where you can kind of analyze it a little more. Um, but I don't know. From the next episode, I do think they need to move the plot a lot. That's my problem
Mm-hmm.
with how short these shows are. Is with WandaVision, say whatever you want about it, the ending. Okay, nobody really had too many issues with the show at episode 8. So we'll just say 1 to 8, right? A lot of people didn't like the ending. We didn't really like the ending, but 1 to 8, nobody really had that many issues with the show. The one issue I had with the show is even though everything is going good so far, it still feels rushed. It still feels like the story is kind of like, and then, we don't get all
Yeah.
the details. I don't want the show to do this. Um, I loved in the first episode how they took their time and all of that, but I wish in the second, well, no, they needed the second to introduce Bucky and Sam being together, so that's fine. But the third, it, I get it's gonna be introducing Zemo, maybe like you were saying, Sharon Carter, and maybe getting the shield. They could answer all those things. Then once you answer all those questions, you can make the plot go forward about not the questions we have of how they do this because we've seen the trailers, but what happens with the flag smashers, you know, how they stop them, how did they get the serum, all of that. So I think they need to get through some stuff in episode, honestly, 3, so you have 3 you know what I mean? Because I feel like with WandaVision, okay, we found out how okay, all right, now it's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? With this be if it,
Mm-hmm.
with it being this short, now if it was like 20 episodes, not 20, that would be way too much. But if it was like 12 or 13, the first 3 episodes could take their freaking time, and it would be
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. But with this, you know, it might be like false for me to do this, but me even looking at this episode and it's kind of moving a little slow. I mean, I guess it only feels that way because like nothing crazy happened, but
Hmm.
that's subjective because there was really good action. Um, and we found they're going to Zemo, but it's like we've seen the trailers, so we know that. So it's like kind of like just a little bit like if we hadn't seen the trailers and I saw that, I would have been like, wait, they're bringing Zemo back? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
so I don't
true.
know.
But we also got a couple, big things about this. We also got to find out, the Flag Smashers numbers, kind of what they're doing, how they're kind of running behind the scenes, kind of going to thing. We also figured out, how John Walker is to people, how he's working in the government, how how he gets his resources and knows things. We also saw, Bucky and Sam finally kind of meet together. So, and then we also found out that there was a kind of a secret Captain America that nobody knew about for like 70 plus years. So I feel like this episode, in terms of big plot points, didn't move too much, but it's in terms of small ones with Flag Smashers, Bucky, Super Soldiers, John Walker, all of that. I felt like that progressed, not as much as the plot did.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, it's just hard to, it's hard to. I guess for me, I wanted to just be like, okay, crazy action. Okay, get the shield. Blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. The whole episode, we were like, get the shield, get the shield. But
Mm-hmm.
they need to take their time. To be fair, I
Yeah.
just hope they don't take their time too much, which I feel like WandaVision. I can't say that because I didn't have a problem with it until the last ep.
You didn't think WandaVision was slow?
Yeah, no, I did actually. Yeah, no, I did. So I just hope next episode it progresses. I don't know. You're right. There's just so many moving because it did progress a lot. There's just so many moving pieces to hit that when it's
Hmm.
6 episodes, I'm like, come on, come on, come on, come on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's the
they
problem. If it
definitely need to supercharge the next episode for the plot for sure.
that and 4, 5 and 6 can and well, I'm also interested because I feel like we've seen all the action so far that we've seen in the trailers. Like it was the
Which
big
is
car
good
one.
though.
Oh, yeah, it's a very good thing because except for the the motorcycle one with Bucky,
Hmm.
but I think that's about it. Or like when he
I would
grabs the knife
just
and but that's like a little bit
Yeah,
of
that
action.
too, or that too. I
That's like
would
a
I
little
would
bit.
just say this, like, real quick. For episode 3 and 4, build up the plot to the climax. Use 5 as a cliffhanger. 6, season finale, absolutely epic.
I feel like they're gonna. I hope they do a season 2. I could see them doing it with this show.
Hmm. I can see it too.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about this episode? Um, yeah. What do you guys think about it? What are you looking for in episode 3? You like this show better than WandaVision? I don't know if I do because it's so freaking annoying. Real quick with WandaVision, it's like with how it ended, I'm disappointed. But I love that show up until, and I still do love the show. The sitcom crap and all
Why
that was
why did
so
you
sick.
so why did you love it? Why did you love it?
Just all the mystery is so good. You
Okay.
know.
So
Yeah.
you liked how you kind of had to wait a week to find out very little about the plot. So you kind of like how it kept it mysterious, but also in the sitcom, in this world, they gave you bits and pieces and clues into what was going on.
Isn't that why you liked it?
Yes and no. I just wanted the plot to move along. I didn't mind the whole sitcom and reality thing when they brought in freaking what's his face Quicksilver. I like how they did that too and stuff. But then I didn't have any problem with like the last 3 episodes. They're all great plot points. They moved around, had some good action in it. But like the first like 5 were kind of slow and barely showed anything. The only thing you would see is the last like 2 minutes of the
Yeah,
episode would
that's my
move
problem
the
with it
plot.
too. I wish they introduced Zemo in the last 8 minutes, not the freaking
Hmm.
last two. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. So, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. We'll probably hit you up next week. Late.
sir.
Uh, check out their stuff. We do music reviews. So, that's our bread and butter. Check those out. Drop the new reviews tonight, and yeah, maybe we can do shows pretty often here. We'll see. See you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.